I correct myself, Sean. They called it, we thought on Horford, but they're listing it as Robinson.
I thought it was Horford.
Yeah.
Well, there was a 1 in there.
Bottom line is this. It's a 1-point game. Michigan with a lead and the ball under 9 to play. They did give the foul to Robinson. That gives him 3. One of the keys this second half, DJ Newbill has not picked up his 4th for Penn State. And Tim Hardaway Jr., just his 2nd field goal in the game. He has 5. Michigan back up 3 with 8.5 to play.
That was reminiscent of Dr. J going on one side of the rim and coming up the other way.
Ross Travis, short on the shot. And it's Michigan basketball.
But that was a guy that every time it left his hands, you thought it was going in. I mean, he was the sort of player, Tom, that you would go and just watch him at shoot around just because of the pureness of his jump shot. And you would have to really go way back to find someone that had a better run in the NCAA tournament that he did during that 1989 run, when he really put that Wolverine squad on his back and led them to the championship over Seton Hall.
Man, could he play. And Jermaine Marshall just cut the deficit to 4. Burke hanging in the air, drew the foul. It'll be the 3rd on Travis. Don't forget that the Golden Gophers will take on the Hawkeyes in Iowa City. That's next. Then at 7:30 Eastern, it's Illinois and Northwestern. All presented by 5-Hour Energy. Michigan 4th in the country. 3rd in the Big Ten with a 60-56 lead over Penn State. Nittany Lions still winless in Big Ten play, but they have played like a champ today. And Trey Burke playing like a national contender for Player of the Year honors. Man, he is having another great game. 20 points, 4 assists, and no turnovers. And that's standard for him. You know, leads the conference in assists. But when you consider the fact how much the ball is in his hands, and he has an almost 4-to-1 assist turnover ratio, that's phenomenal. And he's only a sophomore. Yes. Once again, Michigan looking to deliver a knockout punch. One thing we've learned today, Penn State does not have a glass jaw. Borovnjak banging with McGarry. Roll goes to Glenn Robinson. Even though that is an empty possession, you can live with that shot by Borovnjak. He's played very well today. Hardaway. And all of a sudden, his game has come back to life. Biggest Michigan lead. It's at 9. We talked about the importance of Glenn Robinson III kind of getting his offensive mojo back. He has done that. Hardaway Jr. needed it as well, coming off a 1 of 11 performance versus Michigan State. Careless turnover on Penn State's part. They got a second possession. Didn't capitalize. Pat Chambers. No, kind of straighten up when he had that hesitation. He got down low. That's why he was able to navigate that really, really tight space. 8 fouls on Penn State, 4 on Michigan. That's nothing new. Nobody has a bigger deficit at the foul line this year in Big Ten play than Penn State. And nobody fouls less in the country than Michigan. That foul, though, does go against Penn State's Nick Colella. That's his 3rd, 9th team. So 1-and-1 for Mitch McGarry, who got a big offensive rebound. Boy, they can't capitalize. Newbill driving on Stauskas. Oh, a charge on Newbill, and Pat Chambers is furious. Well, Newbill attacking in the open floor a couple possessions ago. We saw, but that's a tough one, especially for your 4th if you're Newbill. Pat Chambers is saying, if nothing else, it's a no call, but he loses that argument. And now Newbill, as Sean mentioned, has to play the rest of the game with 4 fouls. You can't take him out now. Hardaway lined it up, missed
missed it. Travis got fouled from behind, 5th on Michigan.
That was a really good job by Michigan of getting the ball in the gut of that zone defense and then kicking it out to Tim Hardaway Jr., who wasn't able to knock it down.
What a job by Penn State hanging in there. John Beilein was a coach at Lemoyne College when Pat Chambers was playing against John Beilein as a college player. But now they're coaching against each other today as Taylor missed it.
The D2 level, Coach Chambers was at Philadelphia Textile.
Burke. Well, he just said, you know what, Sean, I can go to my right, too.
If there was a third direction you could go, I'm sure you could score going that way, too.
Wait, I beg your pardon, from Tim Frazier. He's become a vocal leader. 2 weeks ago, Pat Chambers said he wouldn't ever think of addressing the club. He addressed the club last night. That's how much he's grown up and become a leader. And now his 3-ball is there. And there's nothing better than a leader that can produce.
How about checking in cold off the bench in that dead ball situation and just splashing a 3?
He has 11. And once again, just when it looked like they were out for the count, the Nittany Lions stagger to their feet.
And that's not New Bill's strength, Tom. 20% from behind the arc on the year.
But leaders do lead, don't they? Stauskas on the drive. Stauskas, tough shot. Man, he doesn't play like a freshman. He has 18. 69-61 Michigan, 3:20 to play. Newbill on the drive, had it poked away. Recovered by Marshall. Short on the shot. Marshall the putback. He missed another layup. Again an attempt by Marshall. And a foul underneath.
And Tom, Penn State very fortunate to get this ball back because Jermaine Marshall.
We're 16-0. We're ranked #1 in the country. They've gone 5-4 since that 16-0 start, but that's because of the juggernaut called the Big Ten. As Jermaine Marshall, who's had another big game with 16 points. Pat Chambers is still not convinced Mike Eads got that call right. And he got his Irish dander up there a little bit during that timeout. Jermaine Marshall has pulled Penn State back to within 6, just over 3 to play. Stauskas with the ball. He's a Canadian whose goal in life is now to meet a fellow Canadian, Justin Bieber. I think the way he plays, he can shoot a little higher than that. Kept alive by Robinson and draws the foul on Sasha Borovnjak. And boy, did Penn State need that rebound.
Yeah, and Penn State commits a cardinal sin. Don't try to dribble that loose ball. Go after it with 2 hands and secure it first.
What do you like about this kid's game, Sean? 17 points, 9 rebounds today. I mean, he's different than his day.
Yeah, he runs the floor very well. An outstanding rebounder is witnessed by the fact, 8 rebounds today, very efficient, shooting over 50%, 56% to be exact on the year. And I'll tell you the other thing. I like the fact that whether he's having a great game like he is today or whether he's struggling as he has the last couple of times, his demeanor never changes. You wouldn't know the score by watching how he plays because he's playing the same way every time. The highs aren't too high and the lows aren't too low.
Boy, was that a big putback by Sasha Borovnjak. 4 in double figures for Penn State today. Michigan still leads it 71-65, 2:22 to play. Michigan will take a little time off the clock. Trey Burke with the ball still doesn't have a turnover. 23 points, 5 assists. Stauskas with 9 to shoot. He'll give it up to Burke, the super sophomore out of Columbus. On the drive, spinning inside, scoring inside. Remember, Trey Burke originally committed to Penn State, then decommitted. Now he's in Ann Arbor. Can you imagine him in State College? Borovnjak on the drive counters.
I tell you what, just a wonderful job by Michigan the last time down the floor with the shot clock winding down of isolating Burke. Nick Colella on it.
31 free throw attempts for the Wolverines as Robinson now has 20 points. Trey Burke has 25. And Robinson can match a career high if he makes this free throw to give him 21. and give Michigan an 8-point lead, and he does. Do you have to settle for threes?
No, I'm going to try to extend this ball game if you're Penn State. Get something going toward the rim.
Oh, Travis lost it on the dribble.
If you're going to go toward the rim, you got to take the ball with you.
1:16 to play. Michigan with a 75-67 advantage. The problem is trying to foul that guy. He doesn't miss many free throws, and he doesn't turn the ball over ever. Burke, 25 points, 5 assists, 0 turnovers.
Now, if Burke does happen to give the ball up to McGarry, that's who you want to foul.
Oh, McGarry had to go right through his hands, but partially, and I mean just barely deflected.
Burke coming off, redirecting the pass.
McGarry got it on the inbounds, gives it right back to Burke.
And a smart play by McGarry. He knew that they were going to try to foul him if he corralled it. He got rid of it quickly.
10 to shoot. Now the trap out front. A lot of time being wasted. Hardaway for 3. And a rebound for Ross Travis, and the Nittany Lions down 8 with 37 seconds left. Oh, what a fake by Newbill. And he finds Borovnjak for the layup. But again, Penn State's out of timeouts. They can't stop the clock. They're down 6, a foul in the backcourt, and you're forced to send Trey Burke to the line, Sean.
Yeah, you can't be picky if you're Penn State in that situation. Certainly not who you want to foul, but started last time down the floor with the excellent hesitation dribble by Newbill. Got the defender out of his stance and found Borovnjak.
Landon Robinson has equaled a career best with 21. He'll shoot a pair. I beg your pardon, Trey Burke will shoot a pair. Brendan Robinson just shot a pair and made them both. Burke will shoot a pair, and now he has 26. One shy of a season high as our Quicken Loans amazing performance. Is Mr. Trey Burke. He is amazing. Equals the season best with 27 points. Minnesota and Iowa is coming up next. We'll take you to that ball game. Presented by 5 Hour Energy, the Gophers and Hawkeyes. And then later tonight, Illinois Northwestern. Penn State needs to get some points here in a hurry. Borovnjak in the paint. He got fouled with 14 and a half seconds left. John Beilein doesn't want his club to stop the clock.
Yeah, that's one where you have to understand time and score, Tom. And if Borovnjak scores, you just go down the other way. It's an 8-point game right now. Borovnjak understands that he's got the smaller player Burke on him, and player's pride kicks in right there. Burke says you're going to have to earn it.
Borovnjak has had a big day. 16 points for the Serbian. 77-70. Michigan leads Penn State. 14 and a half seconds remaining. And Borovnjak nails them both.
Back to the game now for Penn State.
77-71 Wolverines. Borovnjak with a career high 17 points today. Trey Burke has 27. Glenn Robinson has 21. Burke gets fouled on the inbounds. And he'll shoot 2 more with 13 seconds left. Well, Michigan looks like they'll be 22.